Once you are alive and you are on the journey of experiencing your best self or experiencing better results, you will face challenges, you will face hurdles, you will face failures, and you will face disappointments. It is inevitable. But the question is, how do you deal with failures or disappointments when you are on a path towards achieving your goals? And I think the simplest response is being resilient and being creative, regardless of what you're doing. Whether you're a leader of a team, or you're just leading yourself, or you're just part of a business deal, or you're in a stock market, whatever you're doing, you will face failure. I think the first thing that you have to accept when you're on that journey in terms of being creative and being resilient is that you have to embrace the bounce back mentality. And the bounce back mentality is that you will fall, and understanding that if you're a quitter, you will bounce, but if you're a winner, you'll be willing to bounce back and follow through. And by doing that, you will gain the momentum that you need to keep on fighting and keep on doing what you were made to do, regardless of the fact that you're not having the best results that you need, whether results from yourself or results from your team. And I'd say the second thing is that you have to be flexible. You have to be willing to make adjustments. You have to be willing to adapt. You have to be willing to pivot and make certain changes. Because if you're failing, you have to now think about taking maybe a different route or using a different strategy, because you're committed to your purpose and not necessarily to your plan. So you have to be flexible, willing to make adjustment, even though when you're making certain adjustments, the adjustments may not be something that others are agreeing with, and they may be disappointed that you're taking that route. But because you're not just committed to who you're working with, but you're committed to your purpose, you will be flexible, you'll be willing to change, and you will not be imprisoned by your beliefs or your past experiences, or just being imprisoned by the successes that you've had in the past. You mark me, experience is good, but not all experiences that you've had will serve you best when you're faced with new challenges. Sometimes the experiences that you've had may give you the confidence, but not necessarily the skill sets that you need at that point. And the final thing I'd like to share with you is that so often we're imprisoned by our preferences or our likes or the things that we inherited. Mark you, some of those things have brought us the kind of results that we need in the past. But it does not mean that we should stick with those to the end, because sometimes you have to make those changes. As we said earlier, you have to be flexible, you have to be willing to change, you have to embrace that growth mindset, because if you don't embrace that growth mindset, then you will not be able to get to where you need to be. As I said earlier, you will face challenges, you will face hurdles, you will fail, and sometimes fail miserably. But the response to that is the willingness to be resilient and the willingness to be creative. And the creativity comes from being willing to adjust and to do things differently, and to embrace not just the ideas that you have, but the genius in others. Because by yourself, you could go fast, but with others, you could go much further. So as you embrace that, as you think about the fact that you will fail, you will have hurdles, you will have challenges, you will be disappointed, the thing about that, if you are willing to be creative, if you are willing to be flexible, if you are willing to do these things, then you can still secure success, you can still secure growth, even in the middle of failure. In tough times like these, resilience and creativity is the number one tool to move you and your team forward. Please visit us at pottingersandassociates.com, and a member of our team will be more than willing to assist you in moving your team forward.